our nation's founding fathers knew how to count the cost of liberty. On a sweltering hot July 4th, 1776, 56 men signed, in the city of Philadelphia, one of America's most important historic documents, the Declaration of Independence. They were choosing to stand up to the most powerful nation on earth at the time, England and King George. Of the 56 signers, the oldest to sign was Benjamin Franklin at the age of 70. The youngest to sign were 18-year-old James Monroe and 21-year-old Alexander Hamilton. This signed parchment marked the birth of our nation, which, under God, was destined for world leadership. We often forget that. We often forget the fathers, mothers, sisters and brothers, children and grandparents who sacrificed. We often forget that, in declaring independence from an earthly power, our forefathers declared a forthright dependence upon Almighty God. The closing words of this document solemnly declares, "With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor." The 56 courageous men who signed the document bravely understood that it was not just high-sounding rhetoric. They knew that, if they succeeded, the best they could expect would be years of hardship for a struggling nation. And if the 56 intrepid men who signed the document lost to the British, they would face a hangman's noose as traitors. You may have mixed ideas about those men who met that steamy hot summer in Philadelphia, but know this: they were not poor men, nor were they wild-eyed pirates. They were men of means, most of them quite wealthy. They were prosperous landowners, secure in their prosperity and highly respected in their communities. Of those 56 men, few were long to survive. 5 were captured by the British and tortured before they died. 12 had their homes from Rhode Island to Charleston, South Carolina, sacked, looted, occupied by the redcoats, or burned to the ground. 2 of the signers lost sons in the Continental Army. 1 signer had 2 sons captured by the redcoat British Army. 9 of the 56 died in the war itself from the hardships of scarce food, icy cold winters, no shelter, or bullets, the wounds so grievous they could not heal. But they considered liberty much more important than the security they enjoyed. They pledged their lives. They pledged their fortunes. They pledged their sacred honor. They fulfilled that pledge. They paid the price. They won the freedom from tyranny. The war for freedom stretched out for 8 grueling years, April 19, 1775, to September 3, 1783. Little did John Adams know how significant his words would be when he spoke them to his wife Abigail on the evening of signing the Declaration of Independence. He said, "I am well aware of the toil, the blood, the treasure that it will cost to maintain this declaration and support and defend these states. Yet, through all the gloom, I can see the rays of light and glory. I can see the end is worth more than all the toil and tears it will take." In 1776, Thomas Paine stated, "What we obtain too cheaply, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value." To all those who sacrificed for our freedom, the end was worth the painful means. Where would we who are citizens of the United States of America, be today if there had not been those who counted the cost of freedom and willingly paid for it? To live free is a privilege. To die free is an awesome responsibility. Yet, freedom is never, ever free. It is always and forever purchased at a great cost. Where will we be tomorrow if men and women of integrity do not come forward today and pay the price to reclaim America and hold the standard high? This week, remember the price paid for our freedom.